So Rebecca was pregnant after many years of being barren, and she finally is excited to be able to give birth to a child. But she's struggling because she has this tremendous tension and war going on inside of her, and she feels kicking this way and that way, and she's really bothered. And she goes to a sage to find out what's going on inside her, and she discovers that she actually has twins, and these twins are very, very different, very opposite character types. One is going to be righteous and a saint and very timid natured, and one is going to be a wild hunter. And she finally understands that she has twins, and it makes sense why there's this tension and struggle going on inside of her. So Hasidic teaching teaches us, Tanya tells us, that this story is actually the story of each one of our lives. It's not a story of many years ago. Like all the biblical stories, all the stories in the Torah, is actually telling us an eternal truth. And it's really the struggle that we have within us of these two souls, the divine soul and the animal-like soul, pulling us and tugging at us in our heart in different directions. But what's telling is, after all, this is a series on oneness. So, as we mentioned in the beginning, there's this idea of the duality within the oneness. The sage tells her that as much as they will fight one with the other, at the end of the day, v'rav ya'avoid sa'ir, that the older one will be in servitude to the younger one. And ultimately that's what happened. Esav, the older Esau, his descendants will ultimately accept the sovereignty or the leadership or the power, the inspiration of the younger one, of Yaakov. So what's important here is to remember that as much as we struggle with the divine and the animal within us, the higher and lower, and the tension and this endless seeming struggle that we experience, in the prayer before the Shema, we pray to God, and we say, V'yachid levavenu, may you bring our hearts together as one. And the word levavenu is like in Shema, we say, V'ahavta, you should love Hashem b'chol levavcha, with your heart. But it doesn't just say your heart, it means your hearts, the plural. So we have two hearts, we have the right and the left side of the heart, physically, and that represents the right side being the divine and the left side being the animal. And even though we're not tzaddikim, we're not righteous, but each one of us can, on some level, in some way, find a unity and a oneness within this tension of the heart. And we're going to explore this in the coming weeks. How do we arrive at a oneness within our heart between the animal drive and the divine, godly drive? But what's important to keep in mind is that ultimately they are meant to serve as one and to unite as one. And in the future, when Mashiach comes, it'll be on a global scale. These two opposite energies will merge as one. But in Chassidus, it tells us that even within our own work, within our own lifetime, whether it's during prayer, meditation, Torah study, there are ways of achieving a unity and a oneness within this inner struggle that we have in our heart. And that's the ultimate goal, is to find a way to unify the two hearts that we have into one. As always, if you click the link below, there will be more sources and text-based study that you can explore in further depth. Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you next week.